What's up, guys? Time for another dueling book duel. Today we have myself, Lithium2300, playing Monarchs, going up against Smitty from MATZeUP, playing a Paleozoic in the 2018 YugiTuber Grand Championship. And with us for this electrifying commentary, we have the one, the only, let me get a What's Good YouTube House of Champs.
What's good, YouTube and the YugiTuber Grand Championship of 2018? Lithium, a high-profile duelist, master of many decks. Perhaps he's brought the next Zodiac with him. And it looks like Smitty from MATZeUP is playing Paleozoic's opening triple torrential.
And not to mention, Lithium passed his turn as well, so...
Oh, no. Well, he's not getting attacked, surprisingly.
Well, you know, Monarchs are... There's a reason everyone says Monarchs are the brickiest deck, and that pretty much just exemplifies exactly why.
Oh no. Yeah, he's gonna get set up on only sets 2, not wanting to overcommit. Interesting play back by Smitty. I could see why. There's some decks, it's such a rogue thing. A lot of players are flexing with odd off decks. There could be a Black Rose Dragon or something crazy to get by, but go ahead.
I was going to say, what I find interesting is playing Torrential and Paleozoic, because you don't really get the value off of playing the Paleozoic monsters with Torrential, because since they'd be Chainlink 2, they would just die in the resolution of Torrential. I mean, I guess people inherently think because it's a trap, it's still good, and that's fair, because Torrential's still a good card. But, I don't know, it has like a weird like synergy with the deck.
Ooh, red layer coming down. Here's where I like Torrential. Even though you've set up with Starboy and Toad, once you've burned your Toad Negate, you're not going to get much off. So once you've used that Toad Negate, you can get the Toad resource back and the Starboy resource back once you're in the game.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I like, man, red layer's really throwing me back.
Yeah, it's weird. This is an odd point where the beatdown is coming from red layer.
I think what's been fun though about the Grand Championship so far is that we've actually been seeing a lot of fun decks. I mean, Paleozoic's making another appearance, obviously, but we haven't really seen like the top tier of the top tier at this point in the tournament. I think like players are kind of, you know, just having some fun, you know, playing some like decks that they're either known for, or, you know, just that they see might have a good chance, but it's not like the best option to maybe make it into the later rounds. I'm not too sure, but, you know, I don't think anyone would have expected really Monarchs, especially coming out in the first round. Maybe a little bit later, but...
Ooh, and there's the Torrential.
Yeah, that's where Torrential's perfectly fine.
Yeah, no spells in graveyard, no extra advantage, but I suppose he will be able to idea later.
Well, he can still IDOS from grave, can't he?
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
My bad. That's his resource back. It's been a while, Monarchs.
It's it's okay. So Lithium just passing there, and we see Morella flipped on the end phase from Smitty. For those of you who don't know, MATZeUP is the YugiTuber that won the 2017 YugiTuber Grand Championship Mokuba League, so he earned a spot in this year's Grand Championship. So these him as well as a couple of other people who formed the channel have a German YouTube channel, but they do have a lot of subtitles in English, and their content is pretty decent for their sub count, so you guys definitely should go check them out.
Finally, a monster here, Ronan Toden.
Well, Torrential put in work then.
It really did. It cleared the way for him to be able to actually do something, but it seems like he's just gonna kind of sit on it. Wow.
I mean, I don't really think he could really push any advantage there, just
with
the
can't
back row that he
capitalize
had.
Too much. Ooh. Allure is good. Man, 3 Torrentials. What do you feel when you open up and there's 3 Torrentials?
I think it's great that we finally have Torrential at 3 in the TCG. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, you don't want them all at once like that, though. Or do you?
Tenacity, revealing Aether in hand. Okay, so imagine he'd go for Pantheism, which is still at 1 here in the TCG, but I don't know what the rest of Lithium's hand looks like. Smitty's given the okay, so he is adding Pantheism.
That's actually huge information that he gets to see that early, because now he knows there's extension plays, and he knows where he has to Torrential in the future here.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so IDOS getting banished, so Eddie is going to come down and bring out another one, presumably. Yep, IDOS gets special summon from the deck from Eddie's effect, and the Torrential!
Right here, used early. I guess it clears the way for it's unlikely that something else is going to be going into the field.
All right, so Pantheism comes down, ditching another Tenacity. So no Pantheism Prime. We didn't open the God Hand.
It's so crazy. Lithium's committing it to the board. Oh no, he's just guaranteeing he gets it. Okay.
Yeah, he's guaranteeing he gets the Pantheism effect to search the return. But this is big here because he still has the potential to summon out that Aether.
Let's see, are they talking between the duels? Oh, which one specifically?
Ooh, he had the Foolish Goods, though, for the Prime. Yeah, okay, so this is going to get interesting now, because now he can actually banish to bring out the Prime.
I feel like Foolish Burial Goods is one of those cards that enabled so many rogue decks to actually just be past, like, tier 5, tier 6, and, like, bump them into competing with some of the top decks.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's been insane. Like, we've seen Foolish Burial Goods used in so many strategies now that it's such a simple effect, but it does so much, especially since trap cards nowadays, even spell cards, too, to an extent, just have those graveyard-reliant effects.
Yeah, it really makes Konami have to, like, consider when making their cards, what can we add to this card? Should we put a graveyard in effect? How generic is it?
Right.
It's really interesting.
So this is going to be a big play here because he has Return and sending Edia to the grave. So we're going to see presumably 3 chain links go off here. And with the new SC GOC, he can actually arrange them in any order he wants, because previously Edia had to be chain link 1 since it was sent to grave first. But now he can actually rearrange the order however he wants. And that was a really big change when they announced that change last year. So even though you could always protect Ether with something like Return, now having Edia being able to be at the top of the chain if you wish just means you can chain block in ways that you couldn't before. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah, it's really big whenever something huge changes in the rules like that, and it's I've seen, like, it changes things in Mermails, it changes things in Burning Abyss, a lot of decks.
Yeah, so this is interesting here. So Smitty's actually going to use Olenoides as Chainlink 4 to pop the return to deny Lithium to get the advantage here, and he'll also get to recur a Paleo out of the grave as well. So that'll definitely slow him down a little bit. It just kind of cuts off his little advantage engine. Also interesting to note that Lithium is playing extra deck Monarchs as well, not just Domain.
Yeah, he didn't seem too concerned with locking out his opponents. He'd rather concentrate on his own plays. I wonder how spicy that extra deck is.
I was going to say, I mean, we might see the typical contenders here. I mean, we might see, I'd say Pleiades is probably the most common to come out of the extra deck. Maybe Volcasaurus coming in close second. But, so if anything, if we get some primes going, we'll probably see some rank 5 plays. I mean, hell, we could even see a rank 8 play into Harbinger or something, but against Paleo...
Yeah, they've gained some rank 8 access since they were meta.
That is true. Okay, so Erebus going to attack the Morella here.
We've got the standard
And the Lost Wind on... I don't think that's damage step. I think this is an attack declaration, because he probably wants to get the Paleo chain as well.
Lost Wind can negate the effect of any monster on its activation, right?
I believe it negates its effects, yes.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So I'm kind of surprised he didn't use that on the Ether earlier.
Yeah, that's kind of surprising as well, because Lost Wind doesn't have to be used in response to an effect's activation. So maybe that was just a misplay on Smitty's part, because of the way the chain was built. He maybe just didn't think to use it at that point, because like Solemn Strike is something you couldn't use there, but Lost Wind would be perfectly acceptable. Yeah,
its recurrence is when the extra deck is used, though, so he might actually be getting to use it since we are facing extra deck Monarchs.
Ooh. So Canadia in response to Ether's effect, and then he's going to get another Paleo, and then Erebus is actually going to get bounced back to Lithium's hand here in the end phase. So this means that Smitty is actually going to get a free Toad here.
And I do like that he went ahead and fixed the Maria being banished, too. I don't think either... Duels had to say anything about that.
Yeah, no, that's good. It's good. We got sportsmanship on both sides in the Grand Championship.
I've liked the table talk here, actually. It's pretty nice.
Yeah. So this is interesting, because Monarchs don't exactly... Oh, I guess I was going to say, he has a back row. I'm curious what that is.
It could be as simple as Prime.
I was going to say, yeah.
Sometimes it's Scolding, since they play so few spell or traps. Like, maybe he's playing the Scoldings and Judgment.
Right. So, alright, well, we're going to find out here if it's something like that, because Toad is about to come down for the first time in this match.
Yeah, it needs to be spell speed 3 to deal with Toad.
Yeah, and even then, Toad will still get its effect. Okay, so Toad gonna attack over the Aether.
See, and this is the situation I was talking about. If he uses Toad's Negate, if he gets past a Book of Moon in a sense as well, Torrential will end up still giving him a resource back here.
Ooh, so Prime on the end phase from Lithium. So this could get interesting because now with Prime active, he could choose to negate that, but I honestly wouldn't. But this Prime could get out of hand potentially because depending on how loaded Lithium's grave is, he could basically be drawing 2 cards a turn. So this will be, I'll be interested to see how he ends up handling this Prime Monarch here.
And what are the targets? He's going to, and so he can chain.
So Prime and Domain, it looks like, are the targets. All right, Smitty's going to allow it. I think that's fine, too. You don't want to waste Toad on a Prime Monarch. Oh, and then he's going to use Prime Monarch's effect in response so that he can, he only has to shuffle back one of them. That was one of the tricks back in the day.
Yeah, but it looks like he's not using the same Prime that was targeted.
No, what he did was he, I think he targeted both Primes, and then I think he banished the other one for the Prime that he summoned to the field, or he banished Domain to summon the other Prime, because Prime Monarch only has to shuffle back one.
It has to make sure that it shuffles one back.
Right, so I think he targeted both Primes with the Prime Monarch that's on the field, then chained one of them, banishing Domain to summon it out, so that on resolution, Chainlink 2 Prime would summon, and then Chainlink 1 Prime would draw.
The tricks, and I think
not to confuse anyone who's watching this. What were you going to say?
I think we'll be seeing Dupe Frog, but it could be something like Swap Frog since he has the Torrential, and it is Swap Frog.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, this is one of those rare instances, I know we were talking about Torrential, but yeah, I think this is one of the rare instances where Swap is probably better than Dupe, just because it just kind of helps you set up for later, and especially knowing you have Torrential, that puts you in a pretty safe position, and Lithium at this point is probably like, he doesn't have the third Torrential.
Yeah.
Although it's probably lingering in the back of his mind, you gotta think.
We've seen one. We've
Soul
seen two.
Exchange. Okay, so we're going back in time now.
And he's got to negate that.
You have to, yeah. I mean, you're going to lose your Toad anyway. Now, the thing is, and the unfortunate part is, Smitty is going to have zero purpose for this Soul Exchange, other than ripping it from Lithium's, like, graveyard or something. But, again, I don't see any way that he would ever get any value off of it. And Smitty is going to take it.
Yeah, you don't necessarily want to clog your back row in this deck.
Yeah. So Eidos banishing to summon Edia, and then Edia might trigger. I think he still has one Eidos left in deck. He also could have Mithra.
Yeah, this is pretty rough because he kind of has to let this all happen and just save the Torrential for the big summon.
But that's what's so funny, though, because, I mean, he's perfectly fine to let all this go, and then Torrential is just going to clean house.
Yeah, but Idea is finally going to get its effect to grab a banished spell or trap as well.
Yes. All right.
So there's advantage coming back off this. And Erebus should still get its effect as well.
Yeah, so here's one of the instances I was explaining. So, like, right now, he could make Edia Chainlink 2. And that's actually very big because if he does, he can protect Erebus from getting absorbed by Toad. But Lithium's opting to make Erebus Chainlink 2. Maybe he's not aware. I mean, I feel like he'd be aware.
Toad was already used this turn because of Soul Exchange. It was forced.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Now this is where the point that we talked about earlier, where he's been forced, he's used the resource, now Torrential will get him a resource back. But because Lithium's playing Monarchs, ironically, there's Idea, there's Erebus, there's actually so much happening on the other place that's not getting stopped by this Torrential.
Yeah, I still, though, would always want to make Eddie a Chainlink 2, because you don't know what Smitty's other back row could possibly be. Like, if he's playing Strike, I mean, your Erebus just loses immediately if he has Strike. So, like, I'd rather just have the protection.
Is he's trying to hold the Torrential for Prime? Did it get sniped?
Oh my god, did it? I forget which one that was.
I think that was it. I might be wrong. I think that was it.
It might be the one to the right, under the Toad. But man, Majesty's Fiend too, that's also a really big play.
Well, he hasn't... I don't think he primed this turn either. If he has access to bringing the Prime back, he can go for Zenmayo to clear the other two back row. And if that was Torrential, it's pretty good.
It's going to be game, yeah. But this Majesty's Fiend could also lock things up because he still has another normal summon. He only summoned Erebus this turn, and Eidos granted him the other summon. So Stormforth.
Wow, Soul Exchange Stormforth.
Majesty's Fiend over the Toad. Okay, and then Toad won't get its effect because Majesty's Fiend's continuous effect immediately applies.
Yeah, it won't even be allowed to try, but I think that had to be the torrential. It had to be it.
Yeah, because he would have immediately flipped that on Majesty's Fiend's summon. Unless he figures, I'm not dead. So
I'm not quite dead yet.
Because even if he had another Prime Engrave, which I'm pretty sure he shuffled it back, Prime wouldn't have enough damage anyway.
Man,
this is crazy. This is a really good game so far. So
yeah, and Lithium still hasn't. He has the Book of Moon access.
Yeah,
all right,
and that's the best play because Majesty's Fiend literally shuts off all of Smitty's plays at this point. So this is actually going to give him the chance to start coming back.
Brings back the Morella here. Does he have another protection piece?
Guess we're going to find out, but I mean, he
has... Oh, no, there's not another attack.
Yeah, because he already attacked with the Erebus.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Alright, so Lithium using the effect of Prime, so he's going to recur his one of Stormforth and a return. Net of another card.
Down to 15 cards in deck here. That's pretty intense.
Yeah. Well, Monarchs have no problem just thinning the deck so easily once you get your engine going. And Prime is like the OG disciples of the true Draco.
Interesting that we haven't seen actually Desires from Lithium. If he is playing it, at this point it actually becomes very dangerous.
So at this point, Smitty should just pretty much slap down that Ronin Totem and just probably make Toad. Because that pretty much just allows you to run over the... I mean, hell, he could even run over the Majesty's Fiend with Morella if he wanted to.
Yeah, I think he only has the one Frog in Graveyard. Otherwise, he could go from a Star Toad.
So Ronin, yeah, I think... No, he dumped a second Ronin off of the swap.
Yeah, so he only has access to the one swap Frog.
If
he could
the one
recur
swap,
Ronin
that's what
twice.
You're saying. Yeah. Okay. So Toad comes down, which I think is probably the best move. So Majesty's is gone.
Yeah, even then he has trouble dealing with this 2800 attack.
Yeah. So now the problem is how do I forget? Actually, though, does he have? Is his last set is the set card to the left a Lost Wind? Oh, it's a Soul Exchange. Never mind, it's a Soul Exchange.
Yeah, he took Soul Exchange. Lost Wind hasn't got to reset itself yet because Lithium hasn't touched his extra deck.
Right. So it looks like Lithium's activating Prime again, and this is where Prime gets out of hand. Like Lithium's probably gotten like 3 or 4 draws now just off of that Prime. And not only that, I mean, he's just getting it for basically free because he's just special summoning out Prime.
But 3 of these are okay in the OCG.
Now, this is where he has the potential to go for a rank 5 play, as I was stating earlier. I don't really know what would be ideal here. He could go for Zen Mayo and just try to clean it. Well, he knows what one back row is, so like Soul Exchange doesn't matter. It's really the last back row he has to worry about.
I can't believe he sniped that turn.
I can't believe he hard drew Stormforth.
Geesh.
That's insane.
Force. Each time he's been able to force this.
Yeah. And that's huge because he basically has to negate that because he's going to
he gives up the Toad itself for it.
That's really interesting because he could have opted for dupe there.
Why is he taking this again?
Well, he gets swapped back off of Toad's effect.
Well, this one makes a lot more sense than Soul Exchange because this way it stops it from recurring.
Uh-oh. We see the
And now he's finally going to touch the extra deck, giving him Lost Wind back. If he doesn't die this turn.
That's true. And that's one of the funny things about Monarchs is that he could have played around this Lost Wind like the entire time. But granted, this might be the end of the game here because he only has to play around one back row at this point.
And he's trying to hit in for 4K. He might be able to get there.
Yeah. All right, so Pleiades coming down.
is going for it.
That makes the most sense. So detaching, he's going to bounce the remaining back row.
The mystery card pickup.
And it's Olenoides, so that's going to pop Prime.
Yeah, that's not Saving Grace.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's going to allow him to chain another Paleo Engrave. Because I believe he has one. So the advantage here is it actually is another wall that Lithium has to go through.
Yeah, he's chaining his own Prime, though.
That's good, because it's just going to give him another draw and just get him even more value. That's literally at the 4th or 5th draw off of that Prime. So he's going to shuffle back Tenacity and Prime. And this is good, too, because by chaining the Prime, he's actually denying Smitty from getting the Paleo onto the board.
Yeah.
So that's really smart.
And he chains the Prime in Graveyard, he says.
Yeah, because it's the one that was detached off the Pleiades?
Oh, no, he didn't chain it. Never mind.
Okay.
It was a target.
Autonomous Action Unit!
What?
Oh my god.
Give me your Toad, sir.
Oh my god. I'll take that Toad.
Wow.
What year is this?
What a tech.
Lithium with the spice. Oh my
what
god.
An answer.
So this is actually huge because, I mean, this is game.
Yeah, it just straight up is.
Yeah. Smitty just scoops. We're going to go to game 2.
Well played, Lithium. Well played.
Wow, that was a really good game 1, though.
It'd be interesting to see full power Paleo versus full power Monarch.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be rather interesting. All right, so Smitty opting to go first, which makes perfect sense considering considering it's Paleo. Pretty decent hand. I mean, one other Paleo would be nice here, but he's got double Lost Wind, Strike, and an Olenoides. And he gets Torrential. Torrential did him good last game, and the Ronin.
Yeah, this time he has very little setup. It's actually kind of unfortunate. He's gonna have trouble stacking this to where he gets a Toad out.
Yeah, so it looks like he's gonna send Torrential, Lost Wind, Strike. He's going all in this time.
Yeah, he knows what he's up against. He probably thinks there's a little chance there's Danko or Hey Trunade. People haven't probably prepared for this deck as much as others in this tournament.
Oh, there's a Twin Twister.
A little bit of punishment, and it's a 1-for-1 that he's discarding as well.
Yeah, that's huge. I was gonna say this is Lithium he's going up against, so I wouldn't be surprised if Lithium would be playing some crazy shit like that.
Was that the Olenoides he hit?
I think we're gonna find out.
He definitely wants Olenoides to be hit, and he wants to keep one loss win. Oh,
Hitting
nope,
the strike is huge, though, and the loss win.
So the only way he can really construct something here is to, like, at a point where your Olenoides can't be attacked, get to use your Olenoides, then get to use Lost Wind. They can't have a chain, bring it back, and then summon the Toad next turn. That's, like, his only way, the Ronin Totem, to get to, like, the extra deck here.
Yeah, and unless he draws something like another Desires or, like, a Swap Frog or something, it's just not going to go well. So he's got Red Layer.
Yeah, the other card's Torrential, meaning the Lost One has to be the last thing to be.
Oh my god, and he opened 1-for-1.
Yeah, this is rough. This is so
huge. And he has the Edia, too, because I think that triggers. I think it just has to be sent to grave. I don't know if it's field to grave or not.
Pantheism already loaded in the Banish.
Yep, Edia does trigger. That's insane. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was from anywhere. So yeah, so he's just getting so much value off of these discard outlets. It's insane. He still has not committed to a normal, and he has 2 tribute summons coming.
You hate to see this kind of thing happen.
The thing is, though, Smitty does have that Torrential, so he can at least stop, like, the initial wave of Lithium's, like, onslaught here. And he does have Lost Wind, so Lost Wind will shave the attack of something as well. So he's not dead, but it's gonna be rough.
he chooses to burn the Torrential here before we can ever get to a point that there's another banished spell or trap for him.
Okay, so Kuraz in hand. That's good information for Smitty to know.
Yeah, so we got Pantheism, Kuraz, and the Search.
Yeah. And
the Eidos
I imagine
and
you go for Prime at this point? Yeah, go for Prime, use Pantheism, ditch it, draw 2 more.
I think Konami 2018 makes that card a once per turn.
What? It's perfectly fair, John.
Fair and balanced, Yu-Gi-Oh!
Fair and balanced. All right, so Kuraz and 2 unknowns now, and a Prime loaded, so he still has another special summon. Now, those 2 draws are going to be pivotal here, because he has 2 tribute summons available to him, but if he has no monsters on the field, it's not going to matter. He could also have a way to get to Domain to maybe lower it, so that he could prime out, like, a Erebus or something. But
yeah, this is where Monarchs really struggle, the resource game. When it's going, and you need that final piece. Sometimes it's really rough.
Can we just talk about how Smitty ripped another Desire's return?
Oh no.
But that's the thing, though. Like, that's where Torrential going to 3 is actually huge against Lithium because, you know, previously when Monarchs were the best deck, Torrential's only at 1.
He activates it. This is going to put him down to 10 cards, and we saw last match, it's a lot of back and forth. He's going to have trouble forcing this.
Okay, but he got Dupe and Dynamicious, though, so, I mean, that at least gives him stuff to work with. I think at this point, if you're Smitty, you kind of have to use that Desires, like, because you actually have control of the board, because if Lithium passed, I mean, his previous turn wasn't that good, but now this turn's going to be huge, because Pantheism's going to be loaded, Prime is loaded, Eidos is loaded. He has basically so much coming at Smitty next turn that he needs to get as many resources to basically prepare for that as best he can.
Yeah, the Dynamiscus was huge too, and I think you set the dupe. Yep.
Yeah, you set the dupe for sure.
Ronin's the perfect discard fodder. You got 3 back rows here, one being Lost Wind to be able to stop something like a Zenmayo that's going to try to go for multiple back row. Mm-hmm. It's not a bad position.
All right, so Pantheism being activated. We're going to see double Tenacity, and I wonder what his last card's going to be. Return. Okay, that's interesting. Well, he's going to get the return either way, so...
Yeah, I think you just kind of... Do you give them Tenacity?
No, you give them Return because you don't want to give them Fuel for Prime.
Yeah, so... I was about to say that. I feel like... Oh, I guess he gives them Tenacity,
No,
though.
yeah, So, from playing Monarchs as much as I did, you give them... You just don't allow them to burn through cards because they want those cards in the grave because not only does it thin the deck, but then it gives them Fuel for Prime.
And also because it's Fuel for Prime and he has access to Eidos and perhaps other ideas, depending on how many he plays in his deck. Like, it's kind of rough. And yeah, he does. He's going in.
And plus you have the Mind Games element of Tenacity too, because maybe they give you Tenacity just to, like, for whatever reason, and then you could completely switch up your game plan. Like, he could search, like, Stormforth if he wanted to, or, like, Domain or something, and just completely, like, re-engineer his whole play because he gave you Tenacity instead of Return. So you just want to give them the card that they seemingly are going to search anyway. So Lost Wind on the Edea.
Here.
Yeah.
That's interesting to see this so early.
I think what's interesting about this is that it denies Lithium not only the Eidos, but it also denies Eidos' effect. So now he only has 1 tribute for the turn, unless he has another way to get Eidos onto the board. But even if he has another way to get Eidos, like by normal summoning it, he's only going to get 1 tribute anyway because he had to burn his normal.
Yeah, but that was still... It's just interesting to me. It's definitely... I don't know. It's rough. Like... It's definitely a rough position. Oh, and Olenoides. Yeah, okay.
On
he
the
has
return.
that to take care.
Well,
return.
Yeah. Now, this is good, too, though, because now Dynamicious is loaded to get Olenoides back onto the board, and it's also another form of disruption, so...
Yeah, it can take care of the final problem, in a sense.
Yeah, so basically, if Lithium does have a Monarch, which we know he has Kuraz, but we don't know if he has, like, Erebus or Aether, that whatever he does tribute summon, if anything, is just going to hit by Dynamicious, and then Smitty actually has the potential to take control of the board again.
Thinking on Resolve. Is he thinking of the...
He might be thinking about using Dynamicious on the Prime, because that would be really interesting, because then Prime's banished, so he won't be able to keep recurring it, and then it also means Lithium doesn't have 2 monsters to tribute for a big Monarch.
Oh!
Stormforth. Man, that card is glued to Lithium's hand.
We spoke a little too soon.
Was that a mistake?
What was that? I saw you were thinking. Okay.
So yeah, just a little miscommunication there, but at least they got it figured out. So Lithium thought Smitty was still thinking on resolution, but Stormforth is going to resolve. Vanity's Fiend. Okay, it's not Majesty's Fiend, which would be much better in this instance.
He wants to search off Dupe and then take care of things.
Yeah.
Dynamiscus is definitely very good. It kind of makes him look like he's weak, doesn't have an answer here. He's going to get search swap, though, and then just kind of pop off.
Oh, is Lithium right? Dupe won't resolve. That's right. I forgot.
Oh, tributed.
Because it's tributed, yeah.
I thought it was attacked for some reason. I saw battle phase.
Yeah, I completely forgot that ruling altogether. So, yeah, no. Okay, so, yeah, Dupe doesn't resolve. Throwback to Frog Monarch days.
And unfortunately he can't attempt the Paleozoic here. So actually putting in work over what Majesty's Fiend would here.
So, yeah, it's a weird position because he could just Dinomicious just to kill off the Vanity's Fiend, but then he's not going to be able to summon out anything. Oh, but that actually changes things a lot.
That was a huge top
Okay,
deck.
let's just talk about Smitty drew Desires last turn and now Swap Frog this turn. And not to mention he has Desires twice this game. So the fact that he even has a Swap Frog left in his deck is remarkable.
Shoutouts to Michael State, one desires to banish all of his dupes.
So Dinomicious going to target the Vanity's Fiend. It does not discard for cost, which is one of the appealing aspects of it. So it looks like Vanity's Fiend's going to get banished.
He can't get the summon, so now he's going to have to do with what he can. There's 2,400 defense, correct, for the Prime?
Yes, Prime is 2,400. It's got a big booty. So, funny enough, Toad will not be able to get rid of that anytime soon.
Yeah, you need to be able to load up Mastar Toad. Let's see here. He can bring back one... no, he can't bring back one.
He just has Ronin swap. And even if he has another Ronin to dump, he doesn't have another Frog. So...
yeah, he can't special summon here. This is still pretty rough.
No effect on swap from Smitty, so that means he's pretty much out of targets, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
That or he's saving him, which I don't know why
save it. The only one you would save is, like, dupe to go with this Toad, maybe.
Right, exactly. So Toad coming down. Now, this is a weird predicament, because if you attack Edia, Lithium's just going to get Pantheism back to his hand again. And you can't negate it, because then you lose your only Toad. So, it's a really awkward position here.
Yeah, do you press or do you hang back?
You know Lithium has a Kuraz in hand, so you basically have to bank on the last card in his hand not being a Monarch spell or trap, so that Pantheism won't be able to do anything. But Smitty's just passing, and it's really hard to say if that's right or not.
Yeah, in my opinion, I feel like I might press.
At that point, you're like, oh, he is using the effect of Toad, so he probably does have a dupe.
Yeah, he did save it and he feels protected, but I still feel like overall I try to press because you have 8 cards left in deck at this point, and Lithium still has 8k on board.
Yeah, and at this point, you're pretty much assuming the role as the aggressor by having the Toad, and he has a Kuraz. So, like, he has a way to kind of bait your Toad. So... if he needs to get anything out of his banished pile with Edia, he has the ability to do it. So I feel like in this point, Smitty probably should have pressed, but it's a really tough call.
Yeah, I agree with saving the dupe here, resource-wise.
Yeah.
Because you could have just tributed Kuraz without effect, right, and attacked?
Correct, yes. So Smitty's trying to think it through here. Or, I'm sorry, Lithium's thinking it through.
Yeah, he's still has to deal with the Toad.
Oh, Linkuriboh! The plays! Okay, so that'll trigger Edia to get Pantheism back. Man, talk about Monarchs in 2018. Look at this.
Link summon for advantage.
That's insane.
And, yeah, he would have to get pressed twice by monsters to make the dupe sacrifice worth it. So, like, this is so rough. You don't want to lose your dupe here, but you can just set up with a Toad again next turn if you're living.
Wow, and Lithium drew the Prime. Or he already had it, one or the other. But that's monumental here, because now he could recur that Prime.
Yeah, that's so rough. And he goes for the tributing itself.
Yeah, this is rough. Because even though he's tributing the Toad, Prime is still engraved, so the damage is done. That was like literally the perfect discard fodder he could have had.
Yeah, he gets to take the Prime, but dang.
Take the Pantheism.
Yeah, but that's what I meant. My bad.
So now he can recur his Prime. He can make like a Pleiades or something. And then and he still hasn't normal summoned or anything. So like, he has Kuraz. He could tribute off Linkuriboh for Kuraz if he really wanted to. He can even tribute off Linkuriboh for Kuraz, pop his own 2 primes, and draw 2 if he really wanted to.
Yeah, he goes for the Xyz here. He actually can use in Mayo just one?
I don't know if it's up to 2 or exactly 2.
Yeah, because he could, if he can do one, he can hit
I
the
know
grave.
it's 2 set cards, so like if dupe was set, he could pop the dupe.
Yeah.
Okay, so going for Pleiades, I think that's probably the best option.
Oh, you can bounce the pan if you really want to.
Ooh, and Vanity's Fiend tributing off the Link Haribo. Okay.
That should pretty much lock this one up.
Yeah, I mean, having Vanities plus Pleiades, that's huge.
Yeah,
okay. Lost Wind comes back, but I don't know if... Oh, is he just realizing that he had him, or is he just setting the...
Is he allowing?
I guess he is, unless they're just talking now.
We got some table talk.
Oh, okay, so Vanity's Fiend's going in. I don't really think you have to fear that Dupe Frog getting popped. Or, yeah, because, like, he has no monsters left. Oh, he does! That's shocking.
I guess it's allowed.
Wow, he had another swap.
Well, is Lost One mandatory?
No, it's optional, I believe. You can double check it though for us.
Oh no, I guess they just allowed it. So good manners between duelists, I think.
So now I'm confused because that Lost Wind just got set this turn. So shouldn't that not have allowed to be activated?
Yeah, it cannot activate.
Yeah. I think Lithium.
Yeah, and Lithium's calling him out on it.
Yeah. Okay.
It's correct.
Okay.
I'm sure, like, already he's a little flustered. He's on a bigger stage than he's used to, and that's a common thing with Yu-Gi-Oh! People question, well, you're in a feature match and you played like this. Well, sometimes, you're playing a big name, and one thing's already gone wrong, and you're already thinking, gosh, I can't believe I messed that up, and so it kind of barrels
This
like
is the best next level play ever, because Lithium just used Pleiades to bounce Pantheism back to his hand.
The advantage train. Ooh, that was actually big. That was actually really big. Getting a Book of Moon, so he's got survival tactics as well. He does. And he can go ahead and use one of the Lost Winds on Vanities now and begin his turn, and it will be half, and Toad will be bigger because there's 2 Lost Winds.
He can actually use both Lost Winds on Vanities and Pleiades, and I think he can make a Toad.
Yeah, he has access to Toad because of Ronin. The thing here is, though, he's still on that clock we were talking about earlier. 6 cards left in deck now versus 8k life points.
And you know what? He just passed. That's crazy. So Lost Wind gonna hit Pleiades, so he protects the back row from being bounced in the end phase. So Pleiades is now on 1250 permanently.
He has to have Paleozoics engraved at this point, right?
I think he has 1 left engraved. I think there's a Dinomicious engraved.
Because he could have lost one of the Vanities, and that would be okay. And if Pleiades doesn't activate right there, you lost one of the Pleiades, force it, and there's basically nothing to do. Oh, other than that, Pleiades would block the Paleozoic from coming back. Right. Never mind.
Well, I mean, we can see. Yeah, he has Dinomicious and Olenoides loaded. So had he have done that, he could have actually summoned out another Paleo and gotten value off of not only that Lost Wind, but also now that Canadia as well. But because he had to use it there, it actually kind of hindered the potential for what his turn could have done. So
only 1200 defense is actually somewhat relevant.
It is, because that means none of the Paleos can actually overrun it.
Yeah, you got to use your Toad on it. And then even Lost Winding the Pleiades, it'll be at 1250 and won't be run overable either.
Yeah. Ooh, so Lithium just slamming down the Erebus, and that's really big. So this is probably... I think you have to use the Lost Wind here, because now Vanities is gone, so you can get your Paleos out, and then you have Swap Frogs to establish Toad.
Well, he allows it.
Wow, he allowed it. That's insane.
I wonder what he's saving it for.
He shuffled back the Swap Frog. Yeah,
I would have gone for the back row, I feel, at this point, but I do also understand it.
Yeah, I can see it both ways.
Yeah, now Swap has something to actually send to.
Yeah. But I think because nothing was chained in response to... Oh, I know, Lithium already knows it's Lost Wind. So that's what you have to remember. And this puts him in such a difficult position now, because he could, like, Lost Wind, target Erebus, summon a Paleo, summon a Frog, but then can he get to... Does he have 2 banishes for Ronin?
He has 1.
He has 1.
But Swap Frog summoning will be another.
Because because the fact that Erebus is 28 is very problematic here.
Yeah, you have to go for something.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Lost Wind would knock it down to 14, so it's actually not problematic. Right. Yeah, so he can actually get over this board quite easily. He's probably just thinking, like, the follow-up, like, what do I do?
And he can press actually relatively massive damage.
Yeah. So we see a Toad most likely going to be coming down here. Ooh, okay, so he's going for
Phantom
Curse
Knight.
Javelin. Interesting.
Or new were. It's not new at this point.
Yeah. So that's an interesting choice, because maybe he's really valuing that Lost Wind and wants to save it, but Toad effectively does the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like Toad would be way better here.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe Smitty forgot that Lost Wind has the attack reduction?
Does Lithium have access to both of his primes being summonable? Because he could end phase...
Yes, he does. So that means Lithium has an instant rank 5 available.
Yeah, he has not only Zenmaio, but if he has any Monarch Spell or Trap, he can recur the Erebus as well.
Which he has Pantheism that he bounces back to his hand.
Which is another resource for himself itself.
The amount of value that Lithium has generated with this deck this game is a little bit crazy.
It's making it look a lot better than it used to.
Yeah. So Pantheism's dumping Domain, Prime, and Tenacity. Those are just all bad for you. Alright, so he gives him Prime.
So is he able to recur the Pantheism?
If he has another Edio, which he should, he still has 1 left.
1850 life points is all you have to get through. It's not a Toad. There's no negate.
Okay, so Prime coming out. Now, his back rows are the Dynamicious and the Lost Wind. And you know he has the Lost Wind, so, like, that's a known threat. So the problem is, like, you can't go Zenmaio unless you're purposely trying to bait out the Lost Wind for maybe, like, a follow-up, like, maybe a follow-up Domain Erebus or something like that. Oh, he's just going straight for the Erebus. Okay.
Yep.
So, this
effect is good?
The effect is good? Wow. He let it go through. Okay.
So it's sort of the mystery card pickup, meaning, well, he's going to lose the Erebus here, right?
I believe... Oh, no.
What?
Interesting. Okay.
I guess he really values that because it's his only way to make 1 more Xe, so he wants to make sure, under any circumstance perhaps, that this card lives.
Yeah, because that's the only thing I'm thinking, but now the problem... Well, I guess he can do what we were saying before, is now he can Lost Wind... Oh, man, that's a terrible draw.
And his extra monster zone is cleared for it as well.
Yeah, which that's really big, because Curse Javelin actually occupying that did pose a problem. Wow. I can't. Yeah, I honestly think Smitty might have forgotten about the attack reduction, because I feel like you could have easily made Toad there.
Maybe he just really values saving it.
I mean, it's definitely possible. Okay, so Prime coming out. And now Lithium has another possible rank 5 play here. So now, I mean, you know he still has Lost Wind. So, I mean, you could just go Zenmaio and just bait it and just attack over and attack with Erebus for game, presumably. Obviously, he doesn't know what Smitty's other back row is like we do, but that obviously makes a huge difference in this aspect.
Here comes the Prime again. I feel like this is one of the few decks that Lithium would have gotten to showcase, like, the full extent of this advantage train also. Like, it takes a deck that takes its time.
Yeah, second Pleiades is really interesting. 2 Pleiades was not that common back in the day. It was more of a tech option, but obviously Lithium's a madman, so...
Is he finally going to hit that Lost One? I mean, that would actually be kind of bad, because then it wouldn't... Does it banish when it leaves the field, period?
The Which one?
The Lost Wind.
Yes, because it was set again. Or wait, oh, I see what you're saying. Banish it when it leaves the field. Yes.
So would bouncing it have effectively banished it?
Well,
As a
that's
fixed
technically leaving the field, so it's interesting. I'm not sure. So Lost Wind is finally coming down, though.
And we're also going to see a response to it.
Yeah. So Olenoides gets chained in response. Gaia Dragon. Okay. This is a way to finish the game off.
The piercing damage.
Gaia Dragon attacking into Olenoides, and that should be game. Smitty giving the GG, and Lithium with Monarchs moving on to the next round. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. We'll see you in the next match.